You're listening to Beyond Wellness Radio, bringing you the cutting edge in health, biohacking, and sports performance. Stay up to date and listen anywhere and anytime on your computer, tablet, or smartphone by subscribing on iTunes. Catch your host, Dr. Justin Marcagiani, as he answers your burning health questions as well as interviews from world-renowned guest experts. For more Beyond Wellness Radio, go to beyondwellnessradio.com.
Hey there, it's Dr. Justin Marcagiani. Welcome to Beyond Wellness Radio. Feel free and head over to beyondwellnessradio.com where you can access our full podcast transcriptions. While you're there, you can also sign up for our thyroid and female hormone video series. This series goes into the root cause of why your hormones are out of balance. While you're there, you can also schedule a functional medicine consult with Dr. Justin, myself, where we'll dig deeper into the root cause of your health challenges. Feel free and think of sharing this podcast with at least one person. This podcast grows by people sharing it. Sharing is caring. If you can think of one person that can benefit from this information, please feel free and share it. If you're enjoying the podcast, make sure you subscribe on iTunes. You can also click below the video or podcast where you'll see the iTunes review button and leave us a review. You can also sign up for the newsletter at beyondwellnessradio.com where you'll get updates before anyone else. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Hey guys, it's Dr. Justin Marcagiani here with Evan Brand. Evan, happy Monday, man. What's cooking?
Happy Monday. Not too much was cooking. I did have some brisket for lunch. So I told you, I was like, dude, my blood sugar is going to crash if I don't eat and we go all day chatting like this. So I had to go eat some and it was delicious.
Love it. Yeah, I had my collagen coffee and such. My wife made me an amazing little omelet with like zucchini and like some sweet potato and some grass-fed or pasture-fed eggs.
Ooh.
So that'll be like a little early lunch, if you will. So really excited to that. Got to give props to my wife, Shelly.
Thank you, Shelly, for keeping Justin's brain working. You got to have food.
That's it. I'm ready, man. So I know we just chatted about recently before the show. We wanted to talk about kind of like natural, like first aid medicine things. I know you gave me a call Friday as you fell going up the stairs. You were holding, I think, your dog, and
I went down.
You went down for the count, man, hard. And you got a new house which got some slippery stairs, and you went down and you kept holding the dog so you didn't hurt the dog, which is, that's a natural paternal reflex, right? Which is good.
I went down the staircase. I didn't go up. I was going down.
Oh, dang.
I fell down. I think it was like 13 stairs. I think there's 14 stairs in total. After the first one, I slipped and I went down. I hit my arm so hard on the staircase.
Damn.
And that's why I called you, because the bump happened immediately. And I saw, as soon as I fell, that was the initial impact. And then boom, 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 down the rest of the staircase. And then I had a baby gate at the bottom of the staircase to keep the baby out. Of course, my head busted through the baby gate too. So that was fun. And
dang.
And that's when I called you. I'm like, dude, this bump is sticking out as this bone. And you had me do some exercises and you're like, okay, I don't think so. Probably a contusion, but go get it checked out anyway. So that's what I did. And fortunately, the x-ray showed all clear, no break. So thank God. My arm still hurts like a son of a gun, but it's not broken. So I'd rather have pain than a break.
And then also, by the way, you went to one of these urgent care places, not like an ER, and you told them you didn't have insurance. So you ended up paying a cash price. And how much did that cash price cost for an x-ray and an eval, Evan? What did it cost?
$89
That's
US.
Insane. That would have cost you $500 to $1,000 for just the insurance, if you did the insurance at a conventional ER.
Oh, I guarantee it. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of and this is just like a little small, like mom and pop urgent care clinic. Hospitals, I'm afraid of hospitals. I don't want to go there. So I was lucky enough. I called them. There was nobody waiting. I got in, I got the x-ray, and 30 seconds after going in, I mean, it was just a piece of cake, a really, really good experience. And it really made me think, okay, that's when I hit you up. I'm like, yo, we should do a first aid podcast, because what else could I have done? Unfortunately, I didn't have any arnica unpacked because we just moved. I don't know where my arnica is, but I had a stash of arnica I could have used as a really good natural, like anti-inflammatory. And I could have just been, sucking on the little arnica pellets, but I couldn't find it. And I had some arnica gel I could have put on my arm, but I couldn't find that either. So that's my lesson, is make sure you unpack all your medicinal goodies.
Exactly. And I think it's, good for everyone. If you have good insurance and it's gonna cover you anyway, that's fine. But if you got like a three, four, five, six, $7,000 deductible, sometimes I mean, that would have easily cost you $1,000. And if you're got a $5,000 deductible and you may not hit it this year, that's $1,000 back in your pocket. So I recommend everyone just kind of look at your area and just call some of these urgent care places and get some, get a quote for a couple of things off the bat, like just, x-ray, fall, kind of bump, contusion, laceration, not like life or death things. Like you get in a car accident and you're really in a bad position, obviously go to the hospital, right? But let's kind of research a couple of urgent care places. So maybe you need stitches, maybe you had what you had when you fell. You can get kind of a simple diagnostic kind of x-ray for cheap, and it's not going to break the bank and be ridiculous price.
Yep, you gotta be smart with it. So, needless to say, I got a clear. What I found out was a solution. It's a clear grip tape, kind of like a skateboard, because I don't want to cover up the wood. The wood on the stairs is so pretty. So I found a pre-cut, my exact size to fit all of the stairs. And it's funny because all the reviews are 5 stars. It's like, after my husband fell down the stairs, I knew I needed to buy these. So it's funny how people buy something they need after they hurt themselves. But anyway, this clear grip tape will go right on top of the stair. You won't even see that it's there, but it's going to be like sandpaper texture.
I know we talked about some kind of a carpet over it, but that sounds even better if you can keep the wood look.
Yeah, there's people that posted pictures. They say it looks literally like 100% professional. I've never seen a product on Amazon so highly reviewed. So
that's amazing. Well, great. We'll have to send me that link. We'll put it in the show notes. That's great.
I will. So let's chat about falls and stuff first as our first aid, like falls and bumps and hitting your elbow like I did. What should be in somebody's toolbox?
I mean, I think off the bat, you have some just conventional wisdom with ice, right? That could be beneficial just to reduce the inflammation. But then we have kind of our natural anti-inflammatories, which are going to be, our higher dose curcumin, and we like the liposomal version for extra absorption. We like frankincense essential oil is phenomenal to topically put on that area. So like essential oils because you can get it right on that area fast. And if you get an oil, you can get it in there via the skin absorption. So it goes right to that area, which is great.
I would add in magnesium gel. I think could be great, like a transdermal magnesium gel. Now, maybe it's not going to be hitting you that fast, like it's not going to take the pain away, but I think it could really help. And then what about some of the...
Well, I would say, just to kind of add, I would say magnesium gel will be really good if there's like a leftover muscle spasm, because the magnesium will really help kind of relax that muscle a bit if it's in a spasm. So if you really pull the muscle, of course, getting the inflammation down, getting some good myofascial release or a good percussor on there to relax the muscle and make it more pliable. But yeah, getting some magnesium on there will really help relax it too. And or just a really good magnesium salt bath, Epsom salt bath.
And that's what I did. And I soaked and it felt so good. What about some of the herbal anti-inflammatories? I know Designs has a couple good products that we've used before with the boswellia and stuff in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would just do a frankincense essential oil. There's a couple of boswellia AKB, I think 57 or 47 is a really good quality boswellia. And I know in my line, I have the liposomal curcumin, the curcumin supreme, which is great. Systemic enzymes can also be great just to go in there. You take them away from food. They're kind of like a lumbrokinase or a serrapeptidase type of enzyme. They're enterically coated to be able to make its way past the stomach through the acidic environment and get into the bloodstream. You take them away from food. Typically an hour before, 3 hours after, or empty stomach first thing in the morning. And that gets into your bloodstream. That'll break down a lot of these inflammatory cytokines and interleukins and also help with the remodeling of the scar tissue as well.
Yeah, I am taking the TRF 350, which is like a tissue regenerating factor. I've been taking that for my foot because I hurt my foot back in the summer. I fell on my foot when I was barefoot running. I thought I broke my toe. So I've been taking that TRF, and that's helping too. Maybe we should give a mention to things like a witch hazel, for example. Like I know if you had a cut open in your hands, I've used witch hazel very effectively, like a topical, like with a cotton pad.
Yeah, I mean, I think witch hazel can be excellent. You're putting it on the area topically. I think it can be great. It's a really good astringent as well. I mean, what else can we do topically? Peppermint is really good. So we kind of hit the, the more the fall kind of bone bruise type of thing. But just for a burn or a sunburn, peppermint essential oil is phenomenal with burns. Of course, we have aloe as well, organic aloe. And then we also have good peppermint oil that we can topically add on to that area. And then, of course, we have frankincense, which is just a really good anti-inflammatory. Frankincense is essentially boswellia.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty cool. And if you go back to like the days of the three wise men, right? Remember they said when the wise men came, they brought what? They brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And myrrh is actually a gugolipid, which actually is incredibly powerful for thyroid conversion, right? So you got gold, which is your currency. You have frankincense, which is your anti-inflammatory, and myrrh, which is your thyroid supporting herbal.
That's insane. Well, I know the Egyptians too, and some of the tombs that they've opened up, they found that even more important than jewelry to some of the Egyptians were essential oils, and they actually had certain vats, like gallon-size vats. I don't know, they're probably made of bronze or copper or something. Who knows what metals they used, but that these essential oils, including frankincense, was in perfect quality thousands of years later after they opened up the tombs.
That's amazing. So we just chatted about like bone stuff, right? Of course, we can add in extra collagen peptides and extra bone broth to provide really good connective tissue amino acid support. I think that's phenomenal. It's really good there from a building block standpoint. We talked about the burns and the peppermint. We talked about some of the topical stuff with the frankincense. We talked about some of the natural anti-inflammatories we do, the liposomal curcumin. Homeopathic wise, you can do the arnica. I think that's a phenomenal one.
Let's chat about headaches. I know a lot of clients that have come to us, they've had headaches. Usually it's a gut issue and it's a food sensitivity issue, like a gluten problem causing headaches or migraines. So let's just assume that everyone listening has already cleaned up the diet. They're doing the lifestyle stuff just in terms of like staying hydrated and making sure that they're not doing too many diuretics like coffee or tea. Then we could chat about a couple first aid headache options. One, chamomile tea.
So first off, right, I had a headache last week. I was in Vegas. Okay. I was at, a party there. So there was a kind of an open bar. I typically, I'll do like if I'm out like that, I'll do like a really good Tito's vodka with lime juice, and I'll do like a mini Cape Codder. So just a splash of cranberry juice, just a touch. So it gives it a little bit of flavor, but it's relatively clean, right? And it's pretty low sugar because there's not much cranberry in there at all. So I'll do that. And I did a handful. I had a headache on the 2 days later. I had a headache, and I actually did end up taking an ibuprofen. But here's the strategy though. Number one, I took my minerals. I took my extra B vitamins. I drank extra mineral water that morning. I had a really good breakfast. I took the ibuprofen because after 3-4 hours, it still was there. But then 3 hours later, after the ibuprofen wore off, the headache was gone. So I got to the root cause. of it. The problem is it may just take 3 to 6 hours for it to resolve. So for me, I did all the natural things, and I wasn't quite getting the results. Did the ibuprofen. It gave me that 3 hours of relief, but then the underlying cause was addressed. So then when the ibuprofen wore off, I was symptom free. So I'm open to using conventional medication only if the underlying cause is addressed. So I did the liposomal curcumin, I did ginger, I did the hydration, I did the extra minerals, I did the blood sugar stability. I did all of those things to help. Now, if I went back in time, what would I have done more the night before? I probably would have had a little bit more charcoal. I probably would have had a little bit more antioxidants and vitamin C and sulfur amino acids. And I was drinking a little bit more coffee that day because I was on the go a bit, and that probably acted as a diuretic that made my headache maybe a little worse. So I'm not a zealot where I say none of that, but just make it the last thing, and then just make sure you address the root cause. So then when the medication wears off, you're good. You're good to go.
Nicely said. The peppermint essential oil for me, I've actually got, of course you could carry just a straight peppermint essential oil, but I've seen some peppermint roll-ons that I have. My wife usually keeps a peppermint and a lavender roll-on in her purse, and I'll just rub that on my temples or across the forehead. That stuff works like a charm. Same thing for the stomach too. So if you're out and about, let's say you did get like food poisoning or something like that, you're out and about, you've got some tummy trouble, what are you going to do? One is try to take digestive enzymes if you can, but then for me, the peppermint essential oil topically on the stomach is great. And I know you're a huge fan of the ginger tea. So I think maybe we could transition from headaches. Let's chat about this whole gut gut issue, maybe some first aid gut help. Enzymes would be good, and then the ginger tea would be good. The peppermint roll-ons. What else could we add in?
I would say activated charcoal too. If you ate some really bad food and you're kind of bloated or gassy, activated charcoal is proven to help relieve gas and a lot of that bloat. So that can help to soak it up. And someone chimed in here. Tia chimed in here on the YouTube chat, what to do for alcohol poisoning. Same thing. Get the activated charcoal on there. I mean, if you go to an ER, for the most part, my freshman year, my college roommate had alcohol poisoning. I had to bring him to the ER, and all they did was put an IV in him, right? Think about it. What are they doing? Minerals, electrolytes, and then what do? They gave him a whole thing of activated charcoal. So what do we do on the functional natural medicine side? If you want to get pounded, you want to get sloshed, fine. 1 drink, then 1 mineral water. 1 drink, then 1 mineral water. You go back and forth, and you bring an activated charcoal, and you take it with each drink.
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I only drink.
And then you can add, if you're going to do a little bit more, if you're going to do more than like a 2 or 3, which is social, add the vitamin C in, add the N-acetylcysteine in, or the sulfur amino acids. Like in my line, it's the detox aminos. That's the extra precursors for glutathione. Go ahead, Evan.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I only drink like a shot a year. I mean, it's just so poisonous that I don't even play with it because I get drunk so easily. I've probably got some phase 2 liver issues or something to where alcohol, just like a sip of cider and I'm buzzed. That's how sensitive I am to alcohol.
Yeah, good hard apple cider is good. I mean, you should see me. Like, I'm so corny sometimes. I will literally get a champagne glass and pour my ginger kombucha into the champagne glass and feel like I'm having champagne because I'm drinking my kombucha in a champagne glass.
It does. Your brain does it. Yeah. I do kombucha in a coffee mug. I got kombucha in here for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, it's like, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Like we put our kid away to bed. Like my wife can't really drink. She doesn't really like kombucha. So I'll have my kombucha in a champagne glass and just chill out. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something fancy.
That's great. We had another question here about high blood pressure. So let's answer this one. What are natural solutions for sudden high blood pressure? And I think we probably got to add the caveat that if it is sudden high blood pressure, it would depend on how high, right? Because if it's too high, that could be crisis.
I mean, above 160, I'd be really concerned about that. I'd be more concerned. I mean, it really depends too. If it's like 160 and you have a history of cardiovascular disease, that's more important. You probably want to get that stabilized. I mean, the first thing I would do is make sure you're getting enough hydration and minerals in your body. And I'd also work on getting some good magnesium in there, maybe even take an Epsom salt bath to kind of get that magnesium going, because that will help relax the heart. And then, is there a blood sugar issue? I mean, I've seen people where, they have gut issues, they got diarrhea, their minerals are low, their blood sugar is all screwy. I remember with you, we had an issue with your blood pressure because you were having some stress and you had some diarrhea that was causing your electrolytes to go wonky. And then if you add a blood sugar stressor, now your cortisol and your adrenaline's wonky, that can really make it go off. So, I mean, if it's an acute thing and you don't have a cardiovascular history, I'm not as concerned. I'm more looking at blood sugar, emotional stress, minerals, alcohol, toxin exposure. If it's more of a chronic heart disease issue, then we want to get that stabilized faster. So I try to reach for some of the magnesium and natural nutrients, and obviously things like hawthorn, and you can do things like GABA and valerian to kind of calm things down, magnesium. And you may need to go to an ER if there's a cardiovascular history. Again, I'm just saying that as kind of a caveat, CYA to everyone out there, because if you have cardiovascular disease, I don't want you to say, oh, well, my heart rate's at, my heartbeat's at, over 100 and I have a blood pressure above 160, 170. I'm not going to do anything. Err on the side if you have a history and it's that high to go do something, go to an ER and get that stabilized. In the meantime, you can do the natural things once you come back and you're in a good place.
Agreed. Yeah. Please don't be silly. Please know when you got to go get checked out. Yeah. My blood pressure was like 145, 150 at one point. And yeah, I had the whole house packed up. Everything was moving. I didn't feel stressed though. See, I was taking all my adaptogens. So it's almost like my brain was handling the stress, but my body wasn't. Like my subconscious was more stressed than me. I felt good. I felt in control. You and I were like doing a podcast while my laptop was sitting on a cardboard box. Like I felt fine with everything being chaotic around me. But I guess my subconscious was like, Evan, you can't fool us. And then, I just got that stool test back that showed those gut bugs. So now I'm treating those. A lot of factors. So yeah, I would say, just to finish out your conversation about
you had some looser stools too, though, right? That was maybe affecting some minerals.
I did. Yep. Because I had that Cyclospora SPP, and that's a parasite that can cause diarrhea. So yeah, I had a couple bouts of that, and that probably threw off minerals. So I guess long story short of high blood pressure is you can do the acute stuff, but you got to make sure you get to the root cause. Same thing as the headache conversation you mentioned.
Yeah, the thing I look for, I always look at magnesium and potassium first, right? Get you add some sea salt to your water, right? If you're not sure, you can always just drink like a mineral enhanced water, like a Topo Chico or a Pellegrino that's got some sulfur and it's got some minerals in there. Number 2 is ensure you're getting 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day. And then number 3, make sure you're getting about 1,000 milligrams of magnesium a day. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. If you want to do it, if you want to do it from food, you can run your food through Chronometer. If you want to get some supplemental stuff in there, you can just factor that into what's happening in Chronometer. And then justinhealth.com/CRONO meter, METER, and you can check that out. That'll give you some great options of kind of what your micronutrients are for your food.
Nice. We got one question. How to speed bone fracture healing process?
Yes. So collagen peptides, 60 grams a day. Natural anti-inflammatory support. And I would say after that, you can do some things to help with blood flow. Like ginger is a great anticoagulant to keep blood flow going. You can do some systemic enzymes to keep blood flow going and then help with the remodeling of scar tissue. I think that's a really good thing. And obviously make sure the underlying cause is addressed.
What about vitamin D and K? I wonder if those would...
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry. Vitamin A, D, and K in there. Yeah, so you can get vitamin A just from eating good quality egg yolks and full-fat foods. We can add additional cod liver oil to get the vitamin A up. Vitamin D at about 10,000 IUs per day, because vitamin D will really help extract calcium out of the gut into the bloodstream. Vitamin D helps pull and extract calcium out of the gut into the bloodstream. Vitamin K helps extract the calcium from the bloodstream into the bone. So vitamin D and K. And again, we just did a podcast on Friday. I did with Dr. He's a dentist out of Australia, Dr. Lin. And we did a phenomenal podcast on dental health. And part of it, we talked about bones because your teeth are, a manifestation of your bone strength. So vitamin A, K, and D. And I also talk about the collagen peptides because half of your bones are protein. So it's really important we have good connective tissue amino acids to build those bones up strong.
And that you're digesting your proteins you're eating too.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got low stomach acid.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you've got low stomach acid, you've got H. pylori or other infections, you're going to be at a disadvantage for healing up your bones. So make sure your gut and your digestion is optimal.
Love it. Yeah, makes sense. And again, that's part of the reason why, like in my True Collagen, it's collagen peptides, because we're kind of already factoring in that your digestion may stink. So we want to make sure that it's already in a peptide proteolytic form so it can go into your bloodstream without much issue. That's the benefit of the peptide form, is if your gut's having some issues, it's okay. It'll still be able to go in there.
Well said. We got to hit one last thing, and if we've got a couple questions to address, let's do it. But we've got to hit on anxiety, because this is something I dealt with when I had gut bugs down in Texas, and it was not just stress. The gut can cause anxiety problems, and that's what happened. Because I'm not an anxious person by nature, but I was just off the rails. And you had called me out on it. You're like, dude, it's your blood sugar and then the gut, because I had the cryptogiardia infections. I sound like a broken case here, but I've just been through a lot. And, anxiety is something that typically people are just going to go drink a beer for. Like on Friday night, they're just stressed out. Oh, I need a beer. It's like, what you really need is to support neurotransmitters. You don't need a beer.
Right. So, of course, like sleep and blood sugar and emotional stress, right? Adaptogens are going to help a lot of that. Obviously, a quick mindset check, right? So we can only be three places at once. We can our brain's either in the past, thinking about the past, it's either now, enjoying now, or it's thinking about the future, right? And there's a kind of a combination where you think about the past so you learn from it. You live in now so you can enjoy, and then you can have control over now. And then you live in the future so you can kind of be goal-oriented and achiever, right? The goal-oriented people live too much in the future. The people that, maybe are in pain and not liking their life where it's now, they live in the past. And then just kind of like your status quo, they live present. So it's a combination of being present, learning from the past and then setting goals for the future is helpful, number one. And then people that typically are more anxious, their thoughts are more on what it is they can't change versus what it is they can change. So the first thing is you look at things, you look at what you want, and then you look at the things that you have control over, number one. And number two, you have to create an attitude of gratitude, because if you start shifting and focus on what it is you have and what it is you love in your life, that creates a huge shift in cortisol and adrenaline. So we can use herbs and nutrients to manifest this stuff, but if we're kicking around and focusing on all the crap that we're missing from our life versus what we have, that can make a huge mindset shift. So just go into, like, if you look at Tony Robbins, he does a 3-minute thing where he does 10 minutes where he just does 3 minutes of what he appreciates, 3 minutes of basically affirmations of what he wants to create, and then 3 minutes where he affirms and he talks through what it is he wants, like every day in every way I'm getting better and better, or I am a phenomenal communicator. He makes these statements and affirmations to prime his head of what it is he wants, and then he kind of visualizes what he wants. So it's kind of this appreciation, right? It's this self-talk, really programming self-talk, and then it's this visualization of what it is you want to create. Creation, self-talk, and then appreciation.
And that's powerful stuff. Yeah, it does make sense. It's freaking powerful. I think the mind stuff is more powerful than the supplements, but people want the quick fix. So I would add on EFT, emotional freedom technique. Yes. Tapping is great. And then meditation too, which everybody says, I try to meditate. I know you get your clients to say the same thing, Justin. I try to meditate. And it's like, well, what does that mean, you try? Are you actually doing it? Because I always ask that follow-up question. Okay, you try to go to bed at 10. Are you actually going to bed at 10? Like, when they throw the word try in there, it's kind of like they're letting themselves off the hook of not actually doing what they're telling you they're doing. I try to meditate, Dr. J, but they're not doing it. You got to do it.
Yeah, and here's the deal, right? There's some good technology out there. Just download the Calm app, right? And just do a 5-minute thing where you just go through it. And then it's not about, hey, I tried. It's, did you do the 5-minute session? Like, whether or not you were able to, like, be present through it, I don't care. Did you do it? Right? That's it. Either do or don't do. So I like objective things like that, because, some people, they need their hand held, and that's a good way of using technology to hold your hand.
Let's go through a couple quick supplements, though. Ashwagandha is going to be one of my favorites. Yeah. You could use it anytime during the day. You could use ashwagandha before bed as well. Yep. I would say 500 milligram would be fine. Yep. I would say rhodiola is a good antidepressant / anti-anxiety. But if you're on like a panic episode, you don't want to do rhodiola because it can overstimulate you and push you a little too hard. Holy basil, I think, would be another good choice. Reishi mushroom, I think, would be another good choice. Reishi is pretty calming. What else would you like to add in?
I would do magnesium, of course. I would do GABA. I would do L-theanine or passion flower. I think these are all great ways to kind of come down. And you could just, again, it's so hard when you're kind of in this manic kind of state, right? It's so hard to get people mind off what's going on. So if we can't get it off of what the situation is, I'd much rather think about it and then tap the various acupressure points on the face that you do in EFT to then reduce that sensation of where they're at. So if they're an 8 or 9 out of 10, 10 being the worst, we can at least get them to think about the problem and tap on these EFT points. I do a double tap. It's the Dr. J technique. I double tap it.
So see, I just go in this order. I just go like this. So you're doing both?
Well, I go, because typically it's here, here, and then you can go under the nipple.
So you're getting it done faster. You're going.
But I do two. I do a 2 for 1. So here, and then when it comes to the note underneath, I just do two together. These two together, and then
that saves it a little time.
You can do both collarbones, and then you can do this, or you can do the monkey way like you do.
I like the monkey way. Yeah. Yeah, EFT is a game changer. I mean, absolutely, it has to be in your toolbox.
You can do
Crown. I've always done Crown at the first.
Yep, you could do that too. Okay. You can end with it or start with it. Doesn't matter.
And then you do your affirmation. So it'd be, even though I have this anxiety, I deeply love and accept myself. And then you go through and you do 3 rounds. Even though I have this anxiety, deeply love and accept myself. And if you're in a rush or you're in a subway or something and you don't want people judging you, first of all, who cares what people think? Most people are, not educated about proper stress management. They tell you to pop a Xanax instead. So if you just want to tap one point, the clavicle, just go straight to clavicle.
Yeah, you can just do this.
And it's pretty effective. I mean, I feel it now. I feel the stress just kind of melting away right now. So it does work.
Just think about the words. You can just think about them. You don't have to say them. Or if you're really in a tough place and, maybe you're really stressed or anxious, you can always just go to this one like this and just keep it down.
Oh,
low.
yeah, I like that one.
Right.
Or on the pinky. I've done on the inside of the pinky there. You know that one too? Isn't that another one?
Yep.
Those are cool.
Yep. So these are good things that you can do to help. And again, you may need a trained provider if you're dealing with more trauma, like more PTSD or sexual trauma, anything that's like a deeper trauma. Yeah. You may need someone to work through it with, because they may have to take you back to certain parts of your life where things happened, and they may have to clear those things out. But it's really good for in the moment, and you can come in at a 7 or 8, and you can get down below 5 within usually 3 to 5 minutes, and it's like, it's just nice.
I love EFT. I love having a tapping party.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, you don't need much time. 3 to 5 minutes is great. And I will try to do it. Or if I'm in bed at night and like something's stressing me, I just will sit in bed and I just close my eyes and I just think about whatever that issue is. And I just tap for like 3 or 4 rounds.
Yep.
And I'm typically 30 to 40% better after those 3 or 4 rounds regarding the anxiety that I'm feeling.
Yep.
So that's good. So those are good tools. So, I mean, first aid stuff, I think we hit some pretty decent things. Burns, we talked about digestive stuff, alcohol stuff. We talked about, and I think sleep, traveling and stuff. We talked about in hacking traveling episodes, but a little bit of sublingual melatonin when you're traveling is great. Really can help reset the circadian rhythm. Get up first thing, see that sun rising. Have a little wallop of caffeine in the morning that can really reset that HPA axis if we're changing significant time zones too. So that can be another good one, guys.
Awesome. Well, I know we got to run. I'm late for my next interview here. I know you got to get back to clients, but so much fun. And we'll put some links in the show notes. They can check out your collagen. I think it's an awesome product. So definitely have it in your toolbox if you don't already.
Yeah, big products for today of mine is liposomal curcumin and the True Collagen. That's the Curcumin Supreme and the True Collagen. There's a bunch of other products that we don't even carry that you can just Google online. Maybe we'll put some Amazon links in. Anything of yours that you have in your store that you utilize that you formulated yourself?
The GABA Chews. The
GABA Chews.
That's good. A go-to. Pharma GABA. It's a 100 milligram chewable of Pharma GABA. It works great. It's got a purple label, so just go on my store. You can type in GABA and you'll find it. So look up evanbrand.com and then check out justinhealth.com. Those are our sites. You can go look at our products and our full list of things, which are professionally made and not just a random warehouse that throws together ingredients. We do very stringent testing and reporting on all of our quality. So quality control is our utmost priority.
And if you enjoy the information, you support us by any way that you buy something from us, you are supporting us, and we are going to provide more information back at you. Hit the subscribe button. YouTube now needs you to hit the bell as well to get notifications. Bang that subscribe, whack that bell, and we'll be back really soon, guys. Look forward to chatting with y'all later on this week.
Take care.
Take care, y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
Got a question for Dr. J? Go to beyondwellnessradio.com and click the questions button. Then tune in to hear the answer. Also, if you like the show, click below to review us on iTunes. For more Beyond Wellness Radio, go to beyondwellnessradio.com.